In the 5th year of exile, the sun beat down upon the dusty banks of the River Chebar, where we sat in the shadows of our deep sorrow. I am Ezekiel, a priest among a people whose hearts were broken and whose songs had turned to silence beneath the weight of foreign chains and chains. As I knelt by the riverbank, my soul was heavy with the memories of a home lost and a temple that once stood as God's holy dwelling. The fires of Jerusalem still burned in my mind, a haunting reminder of our rebellion and the silence of the heavens that followed our tragic fall. When hope seemed to have withered like the grass in the summer heat, I did not know that the veil between heaven and earth was breaking. In this land of idols and strange gods, the God of our fathers was about to reveal himself in a way that would shatter my understanding. The air grew thick and heavy, and a sudden, terrifying stillness settled over the river, as if the very world was holding its breath for a king. I looked toward the north, and there, rising from the horizon, was a sight that no mortal eye was prepared to witness in its full majesty. Behold, a great whirlwind came from the north, a massive cloud enfolding itself in a fire that glowed with an intensity beyond the noonday sun. The lightning was not like the storms of earth. It was a rhythmic pulse of divine energy, flashing like molten metal inside a cosmic furnace. Fire flashed continually, and a brightness was round about it, as if the heavens had opened a door to the very heart of a star. The heat of the vision pressed against my skin, and the light was so blinding that I had to shield my eyes from the terrifying glory. Out of the midst of the fire came the likeness of 4 living creatures, their forms emerging from the brilliant glow of the celestial forge. This was no natural storm born of wind and sea, but a carriage of the Almighty, descending into our exile to find us in our pain. The very ground beneath my feet trembled as the weight of the supernatural presence drew near, shaking the foundations of the Babylonian Empire itself. The waters of Chebar boiled and hissed as the fire from above touched the surface, bridging the gap between the holy and the fallen earth. Then, the center of the fire split open, and I saw what seemed to be the very machinery of heaven descending in a display of power. My heart hammered against my ribs, for I knew that I was standing on the threshold of a world that no man can see and live. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, yet they were like nothing I had ever dreamed of in my prayers. Every creature had 4 faces. In the front was the face of a man, representing the pinnacle of God's wisdom and his image in creation. On the right side was the face of a lion, the king of the wild, embodying the fierce courage and majesty of the heavenly host. On the left was the face of an ox, a symbol of tireless strength and faithful service to the Creator who reigns over all the earth. And at the back was the face of an eagle, representing the swiftness of divine judgment and the soaring perspective of the high heavens above us. Their wings were stretched upward, joined one to another, while the other pair covered their holy forms in a gesture of profound and sacred reverence. Their legs were straight, and the soles of their feet sparkled like burnished bronze, glowing as if they had just come from a refiner's fire. Under their wings on their 4 sides, they had human hands. They moved with a terrifying unity, as if guided by a single divine mind. They went every one straight forward. Wherever the Spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they moved through the lightning. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of lamps moving among them. The living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning, too fast for the human eye to track their holy path. They were the guardians of the throne, the warriors of the light, standing as a testament to the infinite power of the Lord of hosts. As I beheld the living creatures, I saw one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures, for each of the four faces of them. The appearance of the wheels in their work was like unto the color of a beryl, shining with a celestial, jewel-like radiance that defied description. Their construction was, as it were, a wheel within a wheel, a complex and perfect geometry that allowed them to move in any direction instantly. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went, for the spirit of life was in them. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. Nothing was hidden from their sight. These were the eyes of the Lord, ranging throughout the entire earth, seeing the pain of the captives. When the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, moving in absolute divine concert. Even in this dark land of Babylon, the wheels of God's providence were turning, moving according to a plan that no king could ever stop. I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of a great tumult. The scale was immense, a celestial chariot that made the great palaces of Babylon look like dust in the wind before the Creator's throne. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over them. It was a floor of pure light, a barrier between the created beings and the unapproachable holiness of the One who sits above the heavens. Above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, deep and eternal. The throne sat in the center of the heavens, steady and unhigh, while the empires of men crumbled and faded into the dust of time. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it, the King of Kings himself. I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, as the appearance of the bough that is in the cloud in the day of rain. So was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face in worship. The noise of the heavens faded into a voice, a sound that spoke not to my ears, but to the very depths of my trembling spirit. A voice spoke to me, calling me out of my fear and into a purpose that would carry me through the long years of our exile. The voice said, "Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee." It was a command that gave me life. The Spirit entered into me when he spoke and set me upon my feet, that I might hear him that spoke unto me with authority. The vision began to fade, but the fire it lit within my soul would never be extinguished by the darkness of Babylon or our suffering. God had not abandoned us. He was not confined to a temple made of stone, but was the Lord of the storm and the desert. I was no longer just a captive priest. I was a watchman for the house of Israel, a witness to the glory that dwells among us. The journey of Ezekiel is a journey for us all, a reminder that in our darkest moments, the heavens are still open, and God speaks. Discover the depths of these mysteries and the hope that transcends time. Visit BibleInYear.com to explore the word that brings light to every exile. Do not let the pain of today blind you to the glory of tomorrow. The Lord is here. The Lord is with you always.